Welcome to stage 6 of Riis. We are out of the flat roads and heading in towards the mountains. This is the new race leader, Félicien Vervaeke of Alaphilippe. The breakaways, they've all been caught. There was a small attack earlier. The likes of Alexander Kolobnev, Paul Sherwin, and others looking for King of the Mountains points, but they have been swallowed up. And now a group of 52 remains in the peloton, with 2 categorized climbs and an intermediate sprint still on the race course. The end of today's stage was a real sting in the tail, that intermediate sprint on top of a short but fairly steep little climb, and then there's actually a very short uphill sprint inside the last kilometer. So plenty of terrain for the punchers and climbers to make their mark. Should get an explosive finale today. Looking at some of the bat markers getting dropped. Not a particularly long stage, but the pace has been very fast. The peloton keeping everybody in check. The attacks did not get a lot of room to operate. Sion Adriansens peels off the front for Evian. They will be working for Andy Schleck today, their top climber. There he is, he's 11th in the general classification. Very well suited for a stage like this. Evian as a team have been more quiet than expected this season. I think we'll see them get a bit stronger as the races go on. But a big opportunity today for Andy Schleck and his team to get their first win of the season. The erstwhile race leader, Bjarne Riis, he's also in this group. 3rd overall at 26 seconds. Definitely possible he can reclaim the race lead today if he finishes at the front of the pack. Although I wouldn't rule Félicien Vervaeke out of defending his lead. He's a very strong all-rounder and I think he can take care of himself on a stage like this. Alaphilippe also have Vervaeke's teammate, Gustav Peterson, who rode a very good time trial and is up in 4th place as well. So we're getting to a bit of downhill and flat road. Around 10 kilometers, maybe a little less, until the start of the final categorized climb of the day. Looks like Bjarne, Kelme, and Ceramikas working at the front. Ceramikas, they'll be working for Pedro Delgado today. He is their top climber and a very strong overall contender. A reminder that tomorrow's stage, stage 7, is the big mountaintop finish of the race, and that should be a real difference maker for the final overall standings. But we should see some time gaps today, and possibly decisive ones, if the top climbers mark each other tomorrow. This is Vyacheslav Ekimov of Kelme. He's the sort of rider you just want to have on your team. He is so strong on the flat, he's suitable in the classics, and a really good time trialist as well. Should be a big part of their plans this season to help Bjarne Riis and Rudy Altig take home some big victories. And Sylvain Chavanel for Blackberry. Blackberry have 3 options for today: Julian Alaphilippe, their number 1 overall pick, and their 2 GC riders in this race, Henri Anglade and the Swedish rider Tommy Prim. Kelme have 5 riders up here, really putting through a show of force as we're now on the climb. Evian sent a man to the front. This is Kim Andersen, the Danish rider. Picking him in the 9th round, a bit of a steal for Team Evian. Showing his colors now. The round halfway to the top. There's Dmitry Koenichev. If he wasn't working for Delgado today, he could be a candidate to win the stage. He's a very good sprinter and quite strong in hilly terrain. But Ceramikas have bigger plans. They want Pedro Delgado to win Riis, and that is why Koenichev is on the front, working for Spanish leader, and we get an attack, and this is Eduardo Chozas, the teammate of Pedro Delgado. Ceramikas showing they have more than one leader possibly, or could this be set up for Delgado, but it's Chozas who's taken Anglade with him. Go over the top. In fact, it's Delgado trying to bridge the gap So maybe it was less of an attack by Chozas and more just getting up the road as a bridge for Delgado, looking to put the rest of the race in difficulty. And they've caused a split. 13 riders together on this descent. And the yellow jersey is not among them. Felicien Vervaeke, he was dropped after that attack. And I don't see Ghost Peterson either, so Peterson, this is a disaster for La Vie Claire. Their top 2 riders are not in this group. Vervaeke, he's close to 2 minutes behind at the moment as we head up to this small climb. This is the intermediate sprint. Bjarne Riis, he is riding. He knows what's happened to the La Vie Claire riders. He wants to gain time. This is an attack. This is Andy Schleck of Team Evian. Trying to put the others in great difficulty, create a decisive move. He's taken 4 others with him, so 5 are left at the front. 2 kilometers to go. It's Schleck, Riis, Prem, Henny Kuiper, and I think Pedro Delgado. Downhill into the last kilometer. It's an uphill sprint to the line. Schleck and Riis wind up. It's neck and neck. Will it be Schleck or will it be Bjarne Riis? It's going to go right to the line. Andy Schleck gets his first win of the season. At last, Evian can breathe a sigh of relief. They are on the scoreboard. Bjarne Riis, a photo finish for 2nd place. Tommy Prem had a great day out. He finished 3rd for Blackberry. Delgado right up there in 4th, and Henny Kuiper performing admirably in a leadership role for Bianchi Campagnolo. This is the group of Vervaeke and Ghost Peterson, so they have lost more than 1 minute and 50 seconds to Schleck, Riis, and Delgado. So after a triumphant last 5 days of the race for La Vie Claire, their GC hopes take a huge hit today. I believe that Ghost Peterson might have waited for Vervaeke after he was dropped. That or they were simply in bad position once the attacks came from Eduardo Chozas. And that was enough to take almost 2 minutes out of the La Vie Claire duo. Cipollini, not surprised to see him finish last. Here's that uphill sprint. It was so close, but Schleck gets the victory. What an explosive climber he is, and he will ascend the classification. So here are the results. The first 5 riders all on the same time. They will shoot up the leaderboard. Henri Onglade caught in the middle in 6th place, 15 seconds down. A large group led by Tor Hushoff of Zulu Kingdom, finishing 27 seconds back. And 2 groups further behind that at 1 minute 50 or so seconds was Vervaeke and Peterson. So we should see a bit of a shakeup in the general classification, perhaps more than we expected heading into the stage. Bjarne Riis reclaims the race lead. His teammate Rudy Altig remains in 2nd place. Henny Kuiper comes up to 3rd, Delgado up to 4th, Andy Schleck in 5th at 27 seconds. Tommy Prem up to 6th, Dargod still in the top 10. And perhaps some small shuffling. Good to see the leftovers getting some riders up around 15th place. So the gaps between the top 5 riders small enough to where tomorrow's mountaintop finish could be decisive in the final yellow jersey battle. In the points competition, Dargod had a decent result today. He takes the lead from Jamaluddin Abdi-Japarov. They both scored a few points today. Cipollini is down to 3rd. He was last, so clearly gets nothing. Andy Schleck is now up to 4th place. He's a bit too far away to win that though. Paul Sherwin extending his lead in the King of the Mountains competition. Surveys Kanavin up into 2nd. Kolobnev is up to 3rd. In a team competition, it's Ceramigas taking the lead, getting a few points as well. Pedro Delgado in very good position for tomorrow's mountaintop finish. Kelme, they have 1st and 2nd overall, find themselves 2nd in the team competition. So all eyes will be on the big mountaintop finish tomorrow at Val de Boer-la-Comian. We'll see you then.